This sandhill habitat is amazing. There is so much wildlife here, but some of it can be really tough to find. That's why the animals that live here do so well. They just blend into this environment. And one of the most famous sandhill community residents is the gopher tortoise. So I'm out here searching around and I just found a gopher tortoise burrow right here. This is where gopher tortoises live, right down there in that hole. What's so important about gopher tortoises? Well, gopher tortoises are what we call a keystone species. What that means is there's lots of other animals that depend on the gopher tortoise for their survival. Not a few animals. There's over 350 different animals that depend on this little tortoise just to live. And you know, and here's the reason why. This tortoise, when he digs this burrow right here, and see, look right there. That right there, you know what that is? That's in gopher tortoise poop. It's kind of old poop. It's already fallen apart, but it looks like a clump of grass. And that's exactly what it is. So gopher tortoises are herbivores. They come out here and they eat on all these native plants. And so when the poop comes out, it kind of looks like a balled up piece of wet grass, and that's already dried up. So there's some gopher tortoise poop. But what was I saying? Oh yeah, gopher tortoises, the reason so many animals depend on them is because of this burrow. This burrow they dig can be, I don't know, 6 feet, 8 feet deep, 30 or 40 feet or more long. Now, when you've got this habitat out here and it's hot in the summer and you got predators out here, well, those animals can come to the gopher tortoise and go in his burrow to escape all that, to escape the heat, to get warm or to get cool, or to escape predators. And when they come in, they want to go share the gopher tortoise's home. And the gopher tortoise doesn't say, hey, get out of my house. He says, hey, my pad's your pad, come on in. And that's exactly what happens. So gopher tortoises are awesome animals. And it's not just that we need gopher tortoises, but all the animals that live here, a lot of them need the gopher tortoise. And that's why this is a threatened species and is protected, because it's really crucial to this environment. Now, walking around the sandhill habitat, there's so many different things that are just really important here. One is, here, let me show you this right here. So right here, I want you to see this plant. See that? That big tuft of grass there? That's not grass. That is a pine tree, a little baby pine tree. That is a long leaf pine tree. And as it grows, it's gonna get a little bit bigger, like this little pine tree, and then they get a lot bigger, and then much bigger. And longleaf pine is just one of the really many important plants that enable this habitat and the animals here to thrive. There's a lot of really cool plants here, but I'm not here for the plants. I'm here to see the animals. And there's a bunch of gopher tortoise burrows here, which makes me think it's probably eastern diamondbacks, but I don't think I'm gonna see a diamondback today, because when I'm here right now, oh, it is blazing hot. And the diamondbacks, the smart diamondbacks, they're down underneath the gopher tortoise burrows, and they're down in there where it's nice and cool. They're not too hot, and that's where those guys are. So, but I just want to show you how amazingly beautiful a sandhill habitat is. I mean, just look at this. Isn't this just beautiful out here? Do you hear that? That's the sound of nature. Here's a gopher tortoise burrow right here. And is it active? Yeah, some spider web there that caught some pine straw. So it looks like a gopher tortoise is using this burrow. So this sandy area all out here, this is called the skirt. And the skirt is where the females will lay their eggs. And when the babies hatch, they just, oh man, the insects here are really bad. That's not my favorite part. There's yellow flies, there's horse flies, there's mosquitoes, there are gnats, but they do not take away from the beauty of this place. Anyway, the gopher tortoise eggs hatch and the babies go back down into the burrow with their mother, and eventually they go out, and the ones that aren't eaten by other predators around here go out and make their own burrow, and then you have a whole habitat. But this place is just gorgeous. When the sun comes up and it's been a cool night, just before it gets too hot, the gopher tortoise comes out of the burrow, and you know, we don't know what's happened overnight. Maybe there's some predators around, so they're gonna come out cautiously, look around, and make sure there's no dangers out here. And when the coast is clear, they'll make their way away from the burrow to where their favorite food grows. They'll go out to forage and fill that gopher tortoise belly up with all kind of tasty plants. Gopher tortoise salad. Now, I've been sitting out here watching this tortoise. I've been here for hours watching this tortoise. And when I got close to it, I noticed, look at the tip of its nose. That's ticks. And I can't get really close to him because this is a very cautious tortoise, and I don't want to scare him. And so I've been trying to get a good look at this, and of course he's gonna move. Well, he's moving toward the camera. That's a good thing. But those are ticks on the tip of his nose. How horrible is that? So now you're probably thinking, well, the gopher tortoise, this is a threatened species, so it needs all the help it can get, so let's take the ticks off of this thing. Well, first of all, if I pick the gopher tortoise up and go to remove the ticks off his nose, he's going to pull his head in the shell and then close his legs up. I'm not going to be able to get to his head. I'm going to have to manhandle him and pull his head out of there. I don't want to do that. He doesn't want me to do that. But here's the other thing. When we talk about ticks, most people think of the deer tick or the dog tick, and these different ticks that in Georgia that we get that they carry Lyme disease and other horrible things. I hate ticks. They're horrible. But these ticks right here, they're not the same. This is actually known as the gopher tortoise tick. Okay, they have a very specific tick just for gopher tortoises. Now, when these ticks are babies in the larval stage, they are known to get on other reptiles, mammals, and sometimes very rarely even people. But these ticks are not ones that transmit disease to people like the other ticks that we know about do. So this is a very specific tick for gopher tortoises, and they actually handle these things pretty well. So we're not going to stress the turtle out. We're going to leave it right here just where it is, and I'm just going to enjoy sitting here watching it for a little while. Well, the afternoon heat has arrived, and this tortoise has been out here for a few hours, and he has got a full belly and a pretty good idea. Heading back to take a nap. That doesn't sound too bad to me. And that's exactly what this little guy's going to do. Right into the burrow to enjoy the rest of the day. Now, one thing that I've done today, because it's so beautiful out here, I turned the camera off and I turned my cell phone off. I didn't turn the ringer off. I turned my cell phone off. And I got a chair and I sat it out here. And I've been sitting out here for a few hours now, just listening to that. Nature. No traffic, nothing, just nature. And I think everybody watching this should take some time this week and go do that somewhere, because it is just amazing out here. And this road that I'm on, you can see the Venom van parked right there. There hasn't been a soul drive down this road in hours that I've been sitting here, just enjoying this out here. And I've been walking all out through here, and it's just gorgeous. So I'm gonna go find something else cool somewhere else. But I just want to share this with you guys because, man, here in the Southeast, we have the most amazing habitat and just some really, really beautiful places once you get out of the city and really start looking around. I love it here. Well, thank you all for watching, and before you go, here's some bonus footage of my drive through this beautiful sandhill habitat. I really enjoyed this day. And one more thing, if you don't mind, please subscribe and hit the notification bell to see more of our videos. Your support, it means so much. Thank you guys. I just stopped because there's something in the road I want you to see. It's not an animal, but it tells us that an animal is here. Lots of vehicle tracks here. But look at this. You see these tracks? This is the track of a gopher tortoise. There's a little gopher tortoise out here. And there's these gopher tortoise tracks all over the place. And I don't know where he's going or where he was trying to go. But there's lots more gopher tortoises out here, and that's a really great thing to see. All right, let's keep going.